Yo, so this is gonna be a short video, more so related to the cheap LS swap video I posted a couple days ago, showing you guys cheap gauges, as that's another common question I see online, which it's interesting that this isn't more well known. What I'm about to show you isn't more well known within the LS swap groups because I've seen it done for at least 10 years now. But let me show you guys the cheap way to do digital gauges. You'll start with this little bad boy. You can get this on Amazon. It's just this piece, and it connects to your OBD port. All it is a Bluetooth scanner. And this video is more so only talking about this for LS swaps, but I'm gonna assume that any newer model swap, Hemi, Ford, whichever, that has an OBD2 port can use this also. So I more so don't want to single it out just to LS swaps, but since I obviously don't mess with anything other than LS swaps, I'm not going to sit here and say yes, it will for sure work, but I don't see why it wouldn't work, as this is just a typical universal Bluetooth scanner that just needs to hook up to an OBD2 port, so it shouldn't matter what that is when it comes to just needing the OBD2. And then over here we have my gauges. So this is just how I have my gauges set up. You can customize it any way you want, which let me show you. Well, let me start with the app. So that is $35 on Amazon. You just type in VPeak Bluetooth scanner and it'll pop right up. And then this tablet is, I think it was $50 on Amazon that I paid. I don't remember. It's been well over a year now. But we'll get out of the app. We'll try to get out of the app. Okay, we're out. So you need that app right there. That's the app I use. There are other ones. I do not know the name of them because this is the one I use, but you should be able to get that on iPhone or Android. This is Android. Or, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Android. And then it pops up. And you just turn on your ignition that turns on your computer. And you hit connect. And then you just go over to, well, this is your obvious diagnostics. So this, you can come in here and it'll show you your, what the, oh my, really? Is this what we're doing right now? This is supposed to be a short video. Well, anyways, let's check these bad boys out while we're waiting on that. So I just took delivery of these two bad boys. Do you remember the red 69 Camaro that I did a boatload of work to with the LS swap, AC kit, front disc brakes, front suspension, gauges? He got it wrapped. That thing is sweet. Look at that. Way better than the red and black it was. That thing's badass. Or bad. Sorry if you got children watching. And then he brought me his bagged Apache that's also LS swapped. But I'm not going to show you too much of these right now because those are obviously going to be a separate video. Woo! Woo wee! And then we got this pile of junk. Are we there? Are we ready yet? All right. Now, where were we? Okay, let's get back to where we were. At some point, we will get there. It might not be soon. Then, okay, diagnostics. So hit that when your key is on, of course, when your computer is on. And your trouble codes will come up right there, and you can clear them. And then it shows you those other things, which I actually don't mess with, so I'd be lying if I tried to tell you how they work. Or then, if you just want your gauges, just go to your dashboard. And this is how I have mine set up. I really like this because of the trans temp gauge. That's a huge thing for me. I'm running a $200 4L60, so trans temp is very important to me. The speed, so I have the speed gauged off of the computer, and it is 10 miles an hour off because the computer isn't gauged for the rear gears. I don't know what they're gauged for, probably whatever gears that computer was in of the vehicle, which was probably an SUV or a truck, so probably 373s or something, as where this is 323s. So my speed is off by exactly 10 miles an hour. The RPMs are perfect. Trans temp, coolant temp, volts, they all work perfectly. They're all right on point. But you can customize this however. Just hit those three little buttons, add a display. Gives you all these options of what displays you want. I'm just going to click radial gauge to make it simple. And then it gives you all these options for radial gauges. We'll just click the first one. And then you can choose what you want that gauge to read. And it gives you so many options if I can get to it. You have fuel options. Those are your options for that. Or click back. Just basic sensors. Couldn't tell you what any of those sensors are. I don't know what we're talking about. That's a whole different language to me, if they even have anything to do with cars. So these are like all your sensors in your computer that you can run. Oh, I should probably run that fuel roll pressure gauge, but I don't. There's your RPM, there's your vehicle speed, IAT, mass airflow, all your technical, very technical gauges for you people that actually know all about that stuff. Sorry. Time since engine start, sure. Fuel roll pressure, blah, blah, blah. Fuel roll pressure, I don't know, was there two of those? But yeah, there's so many. And they just go on and on and on. But if you want the trans temp gauge, it's not in that one. You have to go to user defined PIDs, and you have to actually have to have it downloaded into the how do I say it, into the dashboard itself, which I have here. It gives you the option for Ford or GM. Obviously, you click the GM one, and then you just hit trans fluid temp, and it pops up on the screen like I have it, but with whatever gauge you choose. And then, that's really it. But like I said, you can set up that gauge, and then you just want to delete it. Just hang on to it, and you can make it big, small. You can change the style. You can, obviously, everything is telling you here you can do. I'm gonna remove it. Oh my gosh, I guess I'm not. I'm trying to do this while looking through the phone. Yes, but that is how simple that is. And then I'll just show you how I got it in my car. I got this cheap little phone holder from Walmart, and I just set it in there and make sure it's tight, and it never is, but it's tight enough. And then I'll hit that's my fuel pump and my switch. That's my alternator. And then you just hit connect, and then it does its thing. While it's thinging, we wait, and we wait. Let's see if I have any codes. Yeah, typical ones. We're just gonna make those disappear. Oh look, no more codes. Perfect. Then we're gonna hit the dashboard, and then we're gonna just start it up. that is it. That is your gauges. And then, of course, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of times guys will, well, maybe you haven't. I'm telling you what I've seen. They'll make a whole custom dash around them and set them in there. I wanted it to sit right here. I wanted it to sit about right there, but it was kind of difficult to do because I tried to use this bad boy and stick it right there, which you can see that thing right there is in the way of having it be flush on this plastic, so it didn't stick really good. And I got tired of trying to find somewhere to do, so I just stuck it on the window, so it sits right there. But that's it. I've been using this for over a year now. Absolutely no issues. I had these hooked up beforehand. You will have to run a mechanical oil pressure gauge on your. I'm only saying this for Gen 3 LS swaps because I haven't done a Gen 4 yet. And the Amazon harnesses, and I believe even like BP Automotive harnesses, and the little bit more expensive ones, I believe they don't come with an oil pressure sensor either on the harness. So you have to run a mechanical oil pressure sensor to a mechanical gauge. And then this water temp, so this water temp gauge is hooked up to the back of the head right there, which is the same port as that one. But you can't use that one because that one has to have the harness gauge hooked up to it, or the harness sensor hooked up, or else none of this will work right. So you have to hook it up to that back side of the head, and it's about 10 to 15. That one shows 10 to 15 degrees cooler than this one. So just keep that in mind. I also had the trans temp gauge hooked up to the transmission. There's a little, wonder if you can see, oh yeah, we can see it from here. You see that little bad boy right there? Oh, I guess you can and can't really see it. But that's hooked up, that's in the gauge, into the transmission, up on the kind of the bell housing more. And supposedly that's supposed to read the temperature of more so the internal parts right there in the transmission. I don't know. I actually don't even pay attention to it much anymore because I have the digital gauge now, which reads through the computer, which reads through its own sensor. So I don't pay too much attention to that. Well, yeah, this bad boy, I just, boom, mounted. And I've been doing this every day. I need to make another part 2 about cheap LS swaps, because after I rewatched my first video, I need to go more in depth about things. But that was your cheap gauge setup. So we got $35 from Amazon. The tablets you can get for $40. This one just happened to be 50 or something like that when I got it. And then the app is $5. So calculate that and the $5 app, and that's how much you can have for a digital gauge setup. Obviously, the downfall is you have to make sure this bad boy's charged, or else you don't have gauges, which it's kind of good that I have those 3 mechanical gauges, because if this goes dead, I at least know oil pressure, water temp, and transmission, as where RPMs I can kind of gauge by ear now after so many years of messing with engines and speedometer. Well, I'm in Texas. I go fast everywhere, so that don't matter. But anyways, hope this helps you guys out with cheap LS swaps. It's super simple. Obviously, I gave you a little mini tutorial on it. If you got any questions, hit me up. Follow me on TikTok, Krusty Kuda, Instagram, Krusty Kuda, Facebook, Krusty Classics Garage, YouTube. You're already here, so you know what it is. Follow me, like me, subscribe to me, whatever you're supposed to do to get me to make some money, because she needs some help, and I can't do that without some money. So I'll see you guys in the next video.